Welcome to another episode of Main Source Real Estate's Tips, Tricks, and Strategies. Today's episode is not directly real estate related, but it's a great example of negotiations one-on-one. I'm here at .x with my guy, Nader Fannyan, and he's going to share with us a great story of how he was able to negotiate a multi-million-dollar deal. What's up, Nader?
What's up, J'ean? Good to see you, man.
You as well. You as well.
It's been a while. It's good to have you here in Los Angeles. We got good roots in San Francisco, and I'm happy to bring you here.
Right. Well, good roots in Oakland. Let's get that.
That's right. That's
You
true.
might
I
have
say
been
the
to
Bay
San
Area. That's
Francisco.
right. Yeah, I got to represent Oakland.
The town.
Yeah,
Man.
it's the town, man. Yeah, it holds a special place in my heart.
Well, that's good. So, we've talked about this story a few times. I thought it was a great opportunity to share about how you was able to negotiate this multi-million-dollar deal. So, in my line of work, I use the CCIM, which stands for Certified Commercial Investment Member, which is an organization of commercial real estate brokers, and they have a 3-step process. And we use that process in negotiating our deals. But after hearing the story, it kind of looks like you can use that process as well. Right. So I know the first step is like getting to know who you're dealing with. Who the parties involved. What's who's at the table. Let's figure this out. So tell us a little bit about how. Let's just start from the beginning.
Right. And I agree with that approach. You always got to do the most basic understanding of where you're at. It's the who, what, when, where, why. You organize yourself on a simple matter. I come from a real estate background as well. I'm an attorney. I practice real estate and business litigation. Was mainly in the Bay Area. Had some clients here as well. One of my clients based in Los Angeles had contacted me, informing me that they required more work and for me to potentially commute to Los Angeles and to start to build our practice there as well. From there, I was in the middle of a trial. I said, I need some time. I need about 6 months. I got to wrap this trial up. And we came to an agreement, and it was all good.
Okay.
I get a call about a month later, and from the president of the company, and he basically informs me. He's like, "Hey, we got an emergency on our hands, and it's kind of a weird situation. I don't even know how to get into it." But essentially, I've been contacted by this attorney informing me that he wanted to purchase our company's name and trademarks. I know that you don't handle intellectual property. That's what he informed me. He knows I'm a real estate business attorney. So first I ignored it, thinking it was some kind of scam. You get pop-up emails, "Hey, we want to buy your business."
Right.
And then after a few times, the guy was pretty persistent in his communication, started reaching out to other members of the company. The company at the time was called MetaThreads.
MetaThreads.
Right.
Well, that was the name of the company.
Right. So now we're .x, but prior to this, we were MetaThreads.
Okay. Isn't there a company named Meta right now?
Right. So from that, they had brought in an attorney who had communicated to this outside counsel who was communicating to our client.
Okay.
And he basically said, "Look, I represent a ubiquitous large company. They do not want to purchase your business. They just want your name, and they want your trademarks. And we can enter some type of transition period that takes you as long as it takes to switch that name. But we want to move forward, and we're willing to be quite considerable with the amount we offer you." From that, he came at kind of a low number, somewhere in the low 6 figures. And eventually...
Wait a minute. For a name?
Just for a name.
Trademark.
Right, no business at all.
Low 6 figures.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's
So
pretty,
yeah.
That's large for a name.
Right, and that kind of as you talk about what you're looking for in negotiations, is the first thing you look at. What does this person want?
Right.
And you look at, that's the what part of the aspect. You look at who it is.
Right.
And they didn't inform us who they were.
Okay.
They wouldn't disclose who they were, so
Right.
that was taken away from us. The when aspect was important, and that's what I honed in on as I started to get into these negotiations. And you try to, as you negotiate, try to bring in what you could use, what's out there, what I could use to my benefit, And I wanted to see if time was a factor. So during discussions, I purposely would state something like, well, we need a transition of a couple years just to see where they're at and how they react to that.
Right.
And initially, and I've got somebody very slick on the other side of this transaction. He's at a big law firm who has handled multi 6, 7, 8-figure deals.
Right.
So he knows what he's doing as well.
Right.
Doesn't react to that. He's wise, and he'll say, okay, yeah, no problem, we can work with you. And then eventually you start to pull that out, and I knew that time was a factor for them. So the longer I could drag out that time in our negotiations, and time being the transition of us changing our name if we were to move forward with the sale, I would then be able to see how much and how bad he needed it.
Okay.
And rather his client, how bad his client needed it. And from there you kind of start to work with it.
Hey, thanks again for tuning in to Main Source Real Estate's Tips, Tricks, and Strategies. Thanks again, Nader Fannyan, for allowing us to come check out .x. Until next time, peace.